Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's almost time!
Hey, what's up, everybody? You done reached It's Almost Time here, presented by Real Ninjas Network. I am your host slash co-host slash little bit of everything for the last couple weeks. Still manning down the hosting positions, but tonight I got with us our resident hater, Mr. Paul Wilby.
What
Welcome back.
up?
How
We
was
out
this
here.
this little stretch of I think it's been 2 weeks. I had 2 solos.
Yeah, the first time was lit because my band was playing shows. Second time, I was napping and unprofessional.
It'd be like that sometimes. Man. Glad you can make it tonight, though. We got a lot to, I guess, go over. I mean, there was some fights last night, but really, I don't think anybody's trying to hear any of that shit. I think, what everybody is ready for is about 6 days away, I believe. Yes, UFC 300 is 6 fucking days away. This is actually one of them things. It's like Christmas. You don't think it's ever gonna get there until it's there, and then you're like, oh shit, it's almost time, pun intended.
Right?
But but yeah, no, these last 3 cards after 299, it was some filler, and I guess it'd be hard to stack some names on these with the card we had for 299 and then what we had coming up for 300. You still got people, I think, that are debating that 299 was better. And as far as the main card, they might be right or is comparable, but the undercard compared to 299 to 300, I don't think it matches. I don't think the UFC has ever done anything like this before. They've tried, but I think by far this is probably one of the strongest fight cards that has ever been put together as far as talent and names and a draw. Like anybody who's ever followed the UFC, you're gonna know some of these fighters that are fighting on the card. It's just that they did pretty good. Last night though was Fight Night Live. It was Chris Curtis and Brandon Allen number 2. I can say we're probably a little biased over here at It's Almost Time. Chris has our boy blocked on Twitter, or blocked him on Twitter before deactivating his account altogether. We'll dive right into this one right quick because it was a back and forth fight actually. Curtis did a lot better against, I think, what is Allen ranked number 6?
I don't know. I need to pull up the rankings actually.
Yeah, hold up. I want to say he was ranked number 6. Yep, number 6, and Curtis is ranked number 14. So, competition-wise, Curtis held his own. He came in, I think it was on like 10 days notice or something like that, and made this a fucking fight. Had Allen rocked a couple times throughout the fight. The decision went to a split. They gave it to Brandon Allen by a split decision. 2 judges, or 1 judge 48-47 Curtis, 1 judge 48-47 Allen, and then the final judge was 49-46 Allen. Which, if I'm speaking completely honest, that is the same card I had. A lot of people are like, oh, this guy needs drug tested. He needs to lose his job. Nah, I gave, I think it was round 1, 3, and 4 to Allen, if I'm remembering right. It could have been 1 and 2 and 4, but going into that 5th round, I already had Allen up 3-1. Curtis again put the pressure on him, and Allen gassed like crazy in the 5th round. Like, a lot of his takedown attempts were super sloppy, very, very telegraphed. But at the same time, there was like some exchanges. I think going into this fight, Chris Curtis had like a 90% takedown defense rate or something like that. And Allen scored 6 takedowns on him. I don't remember how many he attempted, but he was
Fucked up that.
he was getting them down all night. He wasn't doing a ton with it, but he was attempting. He was trying for some rear nakeds. I think it was in the first round. Anytime he got his back, he was attempting some stuff. That's people were complaining that he wasn't doing anything with the takedowns. I'm like, what? So because he didn't finish, that's not doing anything. Like, no, he was being active every time though he would try. Curtis ultimately was able to reverse and change position and just get right out of guard and stand him back up. Really, what sold it for me though in the 5th round, they had an exchange. They like basically were exchanging leg lock submissions, and Allen was getting the better of it. Chris got himself out, but I think that might have been what compromised his leg or his hamstring. And then going in with about 20 seconds or so left in the fight, they had an exchange. I think Allen threw a knee up to the face, and I don't think he even connected with it, but Curtis's hamstring went out. And so he reacted, was trying to stand up and fight through the pain. He ended up collapsing. And then the final 15 seconds or so was Chris on the ground and Brandon Allen just pouring it on him. As tired as he was, I feel like that final exchange and how it played out. And then even after the bell, and I think judges aren't supposed to do this, but a lot of times how a fighter reacts when the fight is over can sway a judge's opinion. Both of them were gassed and tired, but Chris was basically in the fetal, holding his leg, and I don't blame him. I'm sure the shit hurt. But I feel like that final little bit of exchanges in the 5th, it kind of solidified the 5th round for Allen. So I feel like they got the decision right. Some people are gonna hate 4-1. The fact of the matter is, I feel like Allen did enough to win that fight. On a positive note for Curtis, since I don't want to be a complete hater here, he did way better competition wise, than I thought he was. He made that competitive. Even with that loss, the fact that he was able to hang with number 6 like that, I feel like he should jump a couple spots. These other guys that are in the rankings might be pissed about it, but I feel like he might have he earned that. Now talking about some of the behind the scenes of that fight, I guess Sean Strickland didn't want Chris Curtis to take this fight, and he didn't want to tell him that he didn't want him to take it because he didn't want to sway his confidence going into it, but he says that basically he wants Chris to focus more and train more. I guess that was my take out of it. Not saying Curtis again wasn't game. I mean, he went 5 rounds on 10 days notice. The dude's got some talent there or some cardio, but I don't know. I swear to God, those two are like best friends, and they are the kings of fucking split decisions. And I don't get it. I don't know if there's something in the water or where they train or how that plays out, but it seems to happen to both of them a lot. I think if I remember right, I think it's like 5 or 6 different split decisions between the two of them. So,
Lame.
and it might even be more. It might be 5 or 6 apiece. So you might be sitting around 11 splits between the two of them. I don't remember. I don't want to say that as a fact though, because I could just be talking shit.
No, I feel that.
Let's see here. So what is happening here? Why is this all sorts? Man, so I'm on SureDog. Okay, I was like, where's the main event? But no, that makes sense. So just going right down the line, the co-main event of the evening was Damon Jackson versus Alexander Hernandez. And I don't know if you're like me or like the majority of the MMA community, but I don't really like Alexander Hernandez all that much. And it was ever since his cowboy fight, that lead up to that, all that shit talking he did about how Donald Cerrone was like a fake cowboy with a pop gun and like just a bunch of shit, and then got humbled. It was one of the best when shit talking goes wrong in MMA moments of like I've ever seen play out.
Love that.
Yeah. But I guess supposedly they are buddies now because I guess Hernandez in his post-fight or his pre-fight talking like with the media and stuff, he said about how like just a week ago he was down eating hot dogs with Cerrone, which I guess makes sense because the dude weighed in 4 pounds heavy at weigh-ins. He weighed in at 150
right.
for a 146 cutoff.
He didn't leave the bread.
Nope. I guess that's what happens when you day drink and drink hot dogs with Cowboy now. But this actually went to a split decision, which I couldn't believe. I had Damon Jackson ahead 2-1, if not 3-0. And one of the judges that gave it to Hernandez actually scored it 30-27 for Hernandez, which I don't know what fight they were watching there. But in the end, I guess it didn't matter because I feel like the right person that should have won got the nod, even if it wasn't unanimous. Fight of the night, though, was Jose Mariscal versus Morgan Charrier. I think he's French. This was another split decision. This actually, like I said, was fight of the night, and so they both got a bonus for this one. This was back and forth, and honestly, out of all the fights that were on the card last night, this split decision, this could have gone either way. I watched it last night, and I was kind of in and out. I think I was eating. I was down visiting my pops, and we were watching the main card down there. But yeah, I was tuning in, and I thought Charrier had won or was getting the better of it. But rewatching it today, I actually rewatched it like about a half hour before we went on here. And I could see why that fight could go either way. This was the only truly split decision. Like, I don't think there really was a loser in this fight. Even though somebody's got to take the L, they both showed out and showed up. Ignacio Bahamondes versus Christos Giagos. This was a first round TKO. Actually, I was going to say it's just a standalone head kick, but nah, he was catching head kicks left and right. Some good stand up. Don't get me wrong, Giagos had it was a pretty contested back and forth. Like he was hitting them with some good combos up top, had his face and nose all redded up. But Bahamondes I think he's like 6'3", had a 6 or 7 inch reach advantage and definitely took advantage of it. Caught him with a head kick earlier. Some good combos, some good body shots, and then to the head again, dropped him and didn't have to follow up or anything. The fucking ref had seen enough. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, Charlie Campbell and Trevor Peake. This one I don't remember a ton about. Charlie Campbell got the unanimous decision win. And now we're gonna hit our little. I think this is the second time this year that we picked a parlay. And the parlay felt back to back to back. So
parlay boys.
We're gonna go top to bottom. So your pick was Alex Morono versus Court McGee, and let me tell you, dude, Court made this a lot more entertaining than I thought he was gonna make it. This is a way closer fight than I expected it to be. Because
right.
You had mentioned, Court's never really impressed me. Like anytime he gets going, something happens, and it's like he couple steps forward and then gets stagnant. But he put on a really good fight against Morono. This actually went unanimous decision. This one I could have seen, like I wouldn't have been surprised if one of the judges had leaned the other way. They gave it to the right person, but Morono didn't look all that good against Peake either, or McGee. But hold up, let me get my official tally sheet so we keeping track here. You still got
about time he lost one.
Who?
Andre?
McGee? Oh, I think he's actually on back-to-back now.
Losses?
Yeah.
Damn.
If I remember right. If I look, yeah, because he had he had somebody last weekend. Hold up, let me double check this. Now it's definitely making it more interesting. I'll say that. Give us a chance to maybe catch back up. He had picked. Loopy, I want to say. Yeah, he had Godinez, and Berna got a unanimous decision win. So, and now I can't find my damn pen. It always be like that. All right, and I still got one of your wins way over off to the right. I'm waiting for that no contest to come back because them eye pokes were fucking savage. I'm sorry, both of y'all got some dubs with some asterisks. No, but yeah. So last night,
Yeah, no, he picked Valter Walker.
Walter Walker, yeah, Johnny Walker's brother. That's a heavyweight, and this was his UFC debut. Actually, he looked good for about 2.5 minutes of that fight, and then and Drusky he did more. It was kind of lackluster on both, but I see why Drusky got it. I was surprised even when it was it was unanimous decision. But there was a lot of hype with Walter Walker coming in, obviously being Johnny Walker's brother. He said it right off the bat, though, in interviews. He's like, hey, man, I'm not my brother. We do not have the same styles. Like, he's a knockout artist. I get guys down and I pound them out. Well, he got Drusky down and just couldn't get the finish, couldn't keep him down. And in the stand-up, had gotten too gassed, and Drusky for the next 2 rounds basically picked the better shots, had the better fight, and 11-0 to 11-1 in your debut. So no, the UFC that jump is real. I guess Walter Walker was a 5 different company title holder. He had won 5 different belts in his 11 pro fights, but yeah, lost his debut to Mr. Lukas Bresky. And it just goes to show you, though, that the level of competition in the UFC is probably better than most these companies that these guys are fighting main event title fights in. You know,
yeah.
Is he going to be done? I'm not saying that. Maybe that was them little jitters. Get that out the way early and then go on a tear. But shout out to Bresky because he definitely did his thing. And again, that was the second leg.
Parlay boys.
And unfortunately, yeah, Dre lost now 2 in a row. And I'm going to just blame it because he's out being almost homeless and he hasn't had his ears to the fight game lately. Yep. So that's probably what that is right there. Because, yeah, every other week when he's in here talking this shit with us, he be spot on. But then it goes to the opening leg of the
Parlay boys.
I'm sorry, I just really love hitting that button. I want to start getting some better sound bites and some other sound bites put together to make this a little bit more fun for the viewers, because I'm sure that they getting tired of the one that we got. But yeah, my pick was Norma Dumont over Jermaine Durandamy, and Dumont got the decision win. Was like, even having picked this and knowing I wanted the win, I was very disappointed in Norma in the 3rd round. Just a lot of takedowns and laying and praying, very stagnant. Was putting pressure on her, but wasn't advancing, wasn't taking risks. Was, again, I felt like trying not to lose the fight over trying to win the fight. And I mean, it worked for her. She won 2-1. I think it was 29-28 across the board, actually. And yeah, beat Jermaine Durandamy, former first-time inaugural women's featherweight champion. She was the first one to ever hold that women's belt in the featherweight. Let's see here. We have Victor Hugo Silva versus Pedro Falco. Unanimous decision win for Silva. That one was, again, I don't remember a ton about it, but it was all right. Gene Matsumoto, though, versus Dan Argueta. This was an interesting fight, a little back and forth, and Matsumoto with a 2nd round guillotine choke submission win. That's decent. And then kicking off the card, we had Nora Cornell versus Melissa Mullins.
Cornhole.
Yeah. I want to say Mullins was favored to win this fight actually pretty decently and faded. And yeah, Nora got the it was second round stoppage, TKO, knee on body and head kicks, or knee to the body and head kicks. Okay. Well, yeah, no, this was again a little bit of some filler, just trying to get us through to what is going to be a crazy fucking card next week. I still can't believe that we're finally almost here. Hopefully this eclipse doesn't mess everything up. You know, you got all them people talking all that crazy conspiracy shit, all because of the moon and the sun.
Yeah, they're fucking ate up. They probably
Well,
think
no,
their personality type is determined based on what month they're born to.
Yep. No, I just think it's funny too because I mean, yeah, eclipse. The reason that everybody's talking all the shit about it this year or right now is because it's our last eclipse here in America for a while. There's like I've heard of how I don't know how many over the next 5 or 6 years. There's some like almost every year. It's just usually in different companies or different countries in different parts of the world. But nah, I'm gonna still go out and look at it tomorrow. You can fucking best believe it. But let's see here. Yeah, we got UFC 300 coming up in just one fucking week. Let me get to this and I already really know. I've seen this card so many times I could probably tell you who was on it without even looking at the cheat sheet. But nah, kicking off the night again, Davidson Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt. We're just gonna take a quick look at shit right quick. Actually, before we look at this, have you heard any of the controversial MMA news that came out in the last 24 hours?
I don't think so, actually. Maybe.
John
Chael
Jones.
talk about it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I did see a little bit something about John Jones, like
Allegedly,
the drug officer lady, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And then more news came out today. Supposedly he's already been arrested. And I don't know if they're just investigating or what's happening. I don't even know if that's true. But yeah, the allegations is that they visited for a random drug test and he got pissed off and said something like, do you know what happens to people that come to my house? They die or something like that. That's paraphrasing. But after this all broke and this lady came forward, or it was some MMA some news media place that does MMA broke this story. After the story broke, John Jones though was already been on record saying, "Hey, we had a very amicable visit. I was a little irritated at one point, but we left on good terms." And then he actually released some home security footage of because they came in pairs. It was a dude and a lady that were there doing the test. And as they're walking out and leaving, this lady turns around and gives Jones a fucking high five. That's very friendly for somebody who just fucking threatened your life. So it sounds like this might be a smear campaign, but again, it's John Jones, so you never fucking know.
Interesting.
Yep, that's why I led with allegedly.
Right. He should definitely like just be a heel. Like not stop being like I'm the Jesus John Jones guy. He should be like, fuck everybody. I like Coke. And just be the heel.
So I was hoping that we would have something to give y'all as far as like our official 300 picks. I know we were going to be able to give you two out of the three of them, but I messaged Dre.
You can post it later.
And he has not said anything. He's seen it too. So.
This is definitely one of the more fun parlay pal runs we'll probably ever have as far as options to pick.
Yeah, no, bro. As far as actually,
I think we already know who.
Yeah, no, I was about to say it. I know exactly who the fuck his pick is.
I just
got this. We got.
We got.
Hey, Dre, if you watching, you don't even need to reply because I know what the fuck you're gonna pick, and so we're gonna lock it in.
Yeah,
right now, hold up.
Right
we got to do it officially.
Parlay boys.
This is Andre's pick for 300 is going to be our boy Diego Lopez. And I could say that, actually, I wouldn't even say I could say that with 99% certainty. I could say that 100% without a doubt that this is the pick that Dre would make, even as bad as I'd want to pick him. If he didn't, I'd pick him.
This is a
But
crazy card.
yep, and this is a crazy fight against Sadiq Youssef. Like, this is gonna be a true challenge for
Oh
DA.
yeah, he might get his spot in the rankings.
Yep. But again, Sadiq, his last fight, he really impressed me. I think he got a win over, or no, Barboza got a decision win over him. I didn't even, damn. I could have
Bro.
sworn the last fight I saw him and he had won. But prior to that, he had a submission over Shane's and then a decision over Bruce Leroy.
I hope Jim Miller starches the fuck out of Bobby Green, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think that's the arc everybody's hoping for, is that Jim fucking Miller. And I'm gonna say it here because I heard that Bruce isn't gonna be able to announce it like that because it's the prelim, so it's on network TV. So he will not get the introduction of Jim fucking Miller. But this is the first time I've seen a fighter fight for 15 years and not have a nickname, and he has earned his nickname. He is officially Jim fucking Miller. Like, that's how it should be put on every one of the promo picks. I don't care if you got to censor it. Like, you got a BMF belt. Like, so I don't want to hear it. Like, y'all
Right.
can say baddest motherfucker, but can't say Jim fucking Miller. Like make that make sense. I'm gonna let you go ahead. Who you got, Mr. Resident Hater?
I'm gonna fucking ride with my bitch that I've been riding with since day fucking one. We're going with Kayla Harrison. She's gonna put that double Olympic gold judo on fucking display, and she's gonna just close the range on Holly and ground and pounder.
Okay.
Actually, that's a really tall fucking order, to be honest. It's gonna be a good fight. Holly Holm could fucking box her ass, but I'm riding with my girl Kayla,
Man,
my future wife.
I could go the super safe route and just pick Bo, but I ain't gonna be a bitch like that. I wanna challenge. Man,
I'll probably throw a quarter on Cody Brundage as a single just for the funsies.
just because he's like, what, a plus 800 dog?
Yeah.
Man, you know what? I've been feeling it in my bones, and I mean, this could go either way, but give me Poetan.
All right, let's fucking go.
And I feel like, I saw a really interesting post, and I can kind of parrot it. Like, I like Jamal Hill, like his fighting style. I like what he does when he's in the cage. But a lot of the stuff he said leading up to this fight makes it really hard to like the guy. Like,
Bro, I've never liked the guy. He's fucking annoying, and he cries about everything all the time. He's like Chris Curtis.
Well, no, so the main
Everything's unfair. Everybody's doubting him all the time. He's just always the victim, perpetual victim mentality.
Yep, I feel you. And I can kind of second that. Another thing too. So the reoccurring arguments in most of these comments and online and any of these MMA groups, everybody's talking about how Pereira is not the real champion because Jamal Hill didn't lose the title; he gave it up. Well, if we're going on that merit, he never won the real title. He fought Glover Teixeira for a vacant belt. Yuri Prohaska was the real champion and relinquished his title when he got injured.
That's true.
Yuri came back and fought Poetan and got knocked the fuck out. Whether you want to say it was an early stoppage or not, who's got the belt right now? Poetan. So Poetan is more of a legitimate champion in my eyes than Jamal Hill was. And not to say that Jamal Hill can't go and become the champion. He's got a very good chance. It just stylistically, I feel like he's underestimating Alex. And the reason being is everybody's, Alex is a killer. He's got, just really good kickboxing. He's a 2-division champion in Glory. He's the only person that did that or was simultaneous champion or something like that. And again, Jamal's got some decent skill, but it's not the same as a world-class kickboxer. And I think he's going to figure that out quick. He thinks that he's going to stand and he's going to do this in Poaton's world. I think if he's ruling out going to the ground with Alex, I think he's making a big mistake. I also feel like another thing that's going to play into Pereira's favor is Jamal's been out due to injury. What did he injure? It was his ankle, his fucking Achilles. Had to have surgery, a big long road to recovery. Has been out of action for a minute, but what is Alex known for? Is his fucking low kicks. Like if he, yeah, I feel like if he starts targeting those legs, it could be an early night. I think there's stand up wise, I think there's more that Alex can do. But to Jamal's credit, as many fights as I've seen him in the UFC, he has not been knocked out. Paul Craig fucked him up and like ragdolled him, broke the shit out of his arm, and then was throwing elbows in his head.
I just did a parlay for the whole event. 25 cents pays out $66.
For what picks?
All right, let's see here. I made a pick for every fight on the card.
Every fight.
Yep. Figueiredo, Bobby Green, Marina Rodriguez, Jalen Turner, Diego Lopez, Kayla Harrison, Aljamain Sterling, Yuri Prohaska, Bo Nickel, Armin Sarukian, Justin Gaethje, Zhang Weili, Jamal Hill.
Jamal, oh, you're gonna get all the way there, and then Jamal gonna go to sleep.
Hey, we'll see. The odds don't say that. Odds say it's almost dead even.
Oh no, I know. It's just back and forth. It could be either way. I'm leaning with Poaton. But I also really like Alex. Like what he's came in and done in 2 years in the sport, or under 3, 2 division champion, beat some big names. And again, I think he's only 10 fights into his fucking MMA career.
Right. I think we're going to see something similar to when I think we're going to see a situation sort of like with Adesanya where Poaton gets him up against the cage and is getting ready to fucking start hammering him. And then Jamal just comes right up the middle. Boop, boop.
I could see that too.
If you watch Jamal's fights, he always punches like that, straight, always straight. Oh, yeah. So he's got the potential to sneak him in before fucking Poaton swings those.
He's a headhunter too. He if you look at his stand up and his strikes, 87% of his shots from stand up go to the head. So he's gonna be trying to find that head. But I feel like again with somebody like Alex, he's gonna make some reads, and I think it's gonna be a good fight.
I was going to say, yeah, I also feel this is more of a gut bet because I also feel a little bit silly betting against the kickboxer in what's probably going to be mostly a kickboxing match.
I mean, if Hill does what he said he's going to do and stand with him, I think he's talking shit. I think if he gets touched and he don't like it, his instincts is going to be go to clinch. It's going to be to go to get him to the ground, try to get an advantage.
I think he's going to try to do that, but I think if he gets touched the first time, he's going to be fucking rocked, and he's going to be if he gets touched once, it might not last very long. We'll see.
This should be fucking interesting, man. I'm excited. Just again, top to bottom, this is a banger of a card. 12 current or former champions. I think it's 11% of the total ever champions in the UFC are on this event. Yeah, I feel like I want Jim Miller to win, but I feel like Bobby's probably going to get it. However, Bobby's coming off of a bad TKO loss to Jalen Turner, like was a punch probably 12.
That's true. I forgot about that. My boy got the fucking shit beat out of him.
No, that shit was fucking crazy, man. That shit was really fucking crazy. But then, yeah, Turner's on this fucking card too against Renato Moicano. I love Moicano. I think a lot of us do, but I feel like this is probably going to be Jalen's fight.
I'd bet the under on that one if it was live right now.
Right. Moicano too, for as long as he's been on the roster, has not had a single TKO or KO win in the UFC. All of his wins, I think it's come by submission.
That's crazy.
So if you want to sneak a little under bet on that one, like on an upset, Moicano by sub. But I don't think Jalen Turner's ever been subbed. So yeah, that should be interesting. And again, I'm very interested to see this Kayla Harrison and Holly Holm fight.
Me
Just
too, man. Because Kayla did not look good in her last fight in PFL. I don't know if you watched it, but her last title fight in PFL, she got fucking out. She got beat up. I mean, she just looked bad, man. It was kind of like how when Ronda just looked like she was fucked when she fought Amanda. She was just like fucked.
Like
It's
she looked
kind of what
outclassed or
yeah.
lost.
Kayla looked. Well, the thing is Kayla had beaten the girl that beat her once, but I don't know. The second time they fought, she just could not get her game plan going. Something, I don't know. She was off or something. It did not look good. And I'm a fanboy.
Nah, but like, yeah, it's really probably going to depend on which Kayla Harrison shows up. Plus, this is her bantamweight debut. Kayla's always been.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
She's always been way bigger. But I can almost guarantee you, the second she signed with the UFC, she was already dieting, trying to get down in size.
Oh, I'm sure. I think as soon as yeah,
she was fucking big. Like I was scared.
They didn't have a weight class that, I mean, even before they took away 145, when she was in PFL, she fought at 155.
Yeah,
she's thick, bro.
She's thick, and not just in the back, right? Man, no, but Holly Holm, she's getting up there, but Holly's had some bangers of some fights,
bro.
A lot of elite competition. Didn't look the best though against Mayra Bueno Silva her last fight either though. So no, that should be interesting. I'm a lean towards Holly just because again Holly's been at this weight for a bit, and I think is used to the glam or the limelights anyways of the UFC. Not to say that Kayla Harrison is a stranger to media or the spotlight, so to speak, because again, you look at her accolades. She's an Olympian. She's a gold medalist, isn't she?
Double gold.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. And what was and Ronda Rousey was just won the bronze, right?
I don't remember.
Something like
and
that.
She won the $1 million world championship in PFL one or two times.
Okay. So speaking of Ronda Rousey, she recently actually just after exiting, I think she left the WWE, but she's starting to do her rounds just on the media doing podcasts or interviews. And gave one of her first interviews here within the last week or so, talking about her UFC career. After she retired and went to the WWE, she never addressed any of her losses, her leaving, none of that. She just didn't talk about it. She finally started opening up, and she probably should have just kept her fucking mouth shut because some of the shit that she said, she blames her loss in the Holly Holm loss. She blames it to a bad mouthpiece.
That's so dumb. You were getting pieced the fuck up, girl.
Yeah,
your lack of hands was what did that.
She said it was a bad mouthpiece, and the fact that she already had a concussion from falling down some stairs prior to that fight.
She definitely looked like she was concussed, like fucking walking around with her hands out.
But she also said that she was okay with leaving the sport because she knew at the end of the day that she was the best fighter ever.
Dude, so okay, they both fight at 155, used to, and they're both the same height. Michael Chandler and Kayla Harrison.
Shut the fuck up.
They're both 5'8" and they both fight at 155. She's fucking shredded, bro. She's gotta be.
That's funny, man. I thought you were gonna say Cyborg because I know Kayla Harrison. She was really hoping to fight Cyborg, and actually Cyborg's still fishing for the fight, but the UFC ain't trying to work with her. If Harrison
could have had the fight,
what I'm hoping for, as much as I want to see Holm win, I hope that Harrison comes over and dominates, like literally does something huge that lures Nunez out for a fight.
Yeah, they definitely need something to shake up women's MMA now that Nunez is gone, because I feel like the women's MMA in general just seems like it's kind of in limbo right now. Like I don't think there's a standout star.
Yep. And you again look at the bantamweight division. You got Raquel Pennington as a champion, and again, not taking anything away from Rocky, but competition wise, she's not the best in the division. I don't think so, anyways. My opinion. Don't hurt me. I'm just a guy on the couch. But no, I feel like there are better fighters at 135. And again, the best one is not even doing it right now. She's done. I personally I feel like she got bored. There was no competition, so she's done until that changes. And that's why I'm saying like something needs to happen. You
She's
need to
stepping
take
aside so wifey could come get the belt.
Oh God, what's her wife's name again? I'm fucking.
Is it Josie Ann? Is that how you say it? Josie
No,
Ann
no,
Nunes?
it's not Josie Ann. There ain't no way.
Oh yeah, that's a different Nunes. Never mind.
No, I know Raquel Pennington's wife is Tisha Torres.
Oh, okay.
I know that, but I'm drawing a blank on Nunez because Nunez's wife is a fighter too. I'm drawing a fucking
Same.
Drawing a blank. I am interested though too in seeing this Aljamain Sterling and Calvin Kattar fight. This is actually one of the most this matchup is one of the worst stylistically for Aljamain at featherweight. I like the fact that he still took it. He took this fight supposedly because he said that this was the highest ranked opponent that he could get that they offered him. So he wanted to take whoever was, had the best rank.
Right.
And so they gave him Kelvin, and he said yes. Just takedown defense wise, Kattar has always been pretty good at staying on his feet. He's had some stumbles like what was it? The Josh Emmett fight, he lost by split decision, but he's got a decision win over Chikadze. Max Holloway put on a goddamn fucking boxing clinic against him though. That shit was that was Max Holloway's fight where he's yelling, "I'm the best boxer in the UFC," not looking at him and parrying.
Yeah, and dodging. Yeah,
like,
he was that boy. He was like he was in the flow state for sure. He was just he was locked in that moment.
And I feel like this Holloway Gaethje fight is going to be a lot closer than I thought originally too, because every time I've seen Holloway at lightweight, he's been small, but even his last fight at lightweight, I think it was the Poirier fight, Poirier #2, he was way undersized. But if you remember, I think he took that fight on like 2 weeks notice or something like that. Didn't really have a full camp, didn't have a chance to bulk up. He's had basically 4 months to prepare for this fight at that weight class. I feel like he's going to be a lot bigger than people expect. I don't think he's trying to get super big because that takes away from speed. But just putting on a little extra muscle, carrying around a little bit more. His cardio is going to be there. Gaethje's a fucking trooper. He can take some punishment, but at the same time, with the way Max can pour on volume like that, I've seen Gaethje get rocked many a times, and usually it's been by power shots. But you got somebody like Holloway in front of you throwing 4 or 5 punch combos at 40%, it adds up. So this could be a barn burner. This could be an early night. This could go to a decision. It really depends on what versions of each fighter shows up. But I feel like Holloway's going to make it a lot more closer than people expect. Just the matchup itself, it kind of pisses me off because, again, if something happens, and I mean, whoever loses this fight, I'm not going to be happy because I love both of these guys. It's one of them I wish we could watch a fight.
This is actually crazy, dude, because Holloway has never been TKO'd and Gaethje has never lost a decision, which is how you would think the other one would win.
Bro. So wait, so Holloway's never been TKO'd.
And Gaethje's never lost a decision. Yeah. Isn't that an interesting stat based on the styles?
Yo. That is fucking crazy, man. It's like the immovable object and the unstoppable force, man. Something's got to give. Something's got to happen.
Yeah,
I
that'll
know,
be.
yeah, Gaethje's been knocked out and subbed, but yeah, I guess it's never lost to a decision.
Yeah,
He's
because
only
if I was
got
gonna
like how many decisions does he have? Because usually
Gaethje,
I think he's got 2 that I can remember, and it was
he's won
against
4.
Chandler and Feziev.
It says he's got 4 decisions and he's won them all.
Hold up,
One against Chandler, one against Fiziev. My God. One from 2012.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be pre UFC because this dude is either kill or be killed ever since he made his debut. And after this fight, if you look at either one of their resumes, and I think Gaethje's is a little bit more stacked, but over the last 6 fights, Gaethje has fought will be Holloway, Poirier, Fiziev, Khabib, Ferguson, like bro, a murderer's row of of lightweights, and I think he's 3-2 right now over his last 5. But the 2 losses were to Oliveira and Khabib.
It's crazy because when I think about it, like on paper, or not on paper, when I think about it, it seems like since he's been around so much longer, Max would be older, but Max is 3 years younger than fucking Gaethje.
That's crazy. That's weird. But yeah, if you think about it, Holloway, he's been in for a minute, but he came in really young. He was like early
Right.
20s, I think, when he made his debut.
Yeah, he's only 32 now.
Man, that makes me happy. At least we're gonna have Max for a few, like another 5 years if things go right. Maybe
Right. Yeah.
because I know we're at a really weird spot
That's
in
crazy.
transition in the sport. Like majority of champions and top contenders are all like mid-30s now, and
Yeah, there's
we
gonna be
all know.
another changing of the guard soon.
Yep, yep. Well, and Pereira, he's already 35, 36, and I mean he's only 2-3 years into MMA. So we
Right.
probably only got him for another, 2-3 years of prime Pereira. And it might even be sooner than that.
He'll probably move up to heavyweight eventually, and that's where all the old guys can ride it out.
Man, if he ends up going up to heavyweight and snatches that belt, that's the character arc or the arc I would like to see Peloton take. Become the
Imagine
first ever.
Poton just shredded full heavyweight, fucking 265-pound Poton fights fucking fat John Jones for the belt.
Man. And then and again, people complained enough that originally Armand Sarukian and Charles Oliveira were supposed to kick off the pay-per-view. They now have Bo Nickel and Cody Brundage kicking it off. So people complained enough about where Bo Nickel was on the pay-per-view. He's now officially opening the pay-per-view. But yeah, if you go like this these prelims though, dude, the main prelims, Sadiq Youssef, Diego Lopez, Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison, Kelvin Qatar, Aljamain Sterling, and then the main prelim, Yuri Prohaska and Alexander Rakic. Man, this is, I think, my sleeper fight right here. This has no business being a main prelim, but I'm not complaining. Like, give the people some good fights, make them want to tune in for the pay-per-view. I think it's number 2 versus number 5. I like that. Rakic, he hasn't been the most entertaining, but he's got the tools. I feel like to do what it would take to beat Yuri. Do I think he does it though? Probably not. I'd like to see Yuri bounce back and still be in that title contention. Because even though Poatan did win, it was stopped. I would like to see them run it back. I'd like to see what would have happened if he got a chance to fight through that position. Because the fight that him and Teixeira had was an absolute fucking war, back and forth, guys getting hurt, changing positions, then the other dude gets hurt. It was just a really back and forth fight to where I think it was in the 5th round finally where Yuri was able to submit Glover. So yeah, it would be nice to see them run it back. And speculating, what do you think happens if the main event comes and goes and Peloton keeps the belt? What's next?
That's a good question. Let me pull up the rankings.
I'll tell you without looking. It's Magomed Ankalaev.
Okay.
That's going to be the next guy that gets a shot at the belt if Poatan keeps it. Hell, even if Hill wins, I feel like Magomed is probably the next guy to get a shot.
Yeah, unless Rakic does something really fucking crazy.
Yep. Or again, even if Yuri does something really crazy to get like just a brutal knockout or a highlight reel finish, he might get a next shot.
Yeah,
But right
especially if
now,
Hill wins it, because then it wouldn't be the rematch.
yep. And man, I know Magomed had the no contest that should have been a DQ against Walker. They ran it back like 2 or 3 months later, and he made light work of it. Like legit, Walker did not look very good at all in that. Man, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this week because every day that's not next Saturday is just gonna be a countdown. Like I'm ready for these fights. My ears are glued to the MMA scene right now. I'm taking this all in and really enjoying this card because we ain't gonna get another one like it for some time. We'll probably get another banger of a card this year, but I don't know if it's gonna live up to 300. This I think is going to be the premier pay-per-view of the year. Like again, I even feel like just with the amount of talent that is on this card right here, this is going to be the one that gets talked about for a minute. Like a lot of people are going to remember where they were, what they were doing, and how this all plays out. It's going to be exciting.
Is this next week?
Yeah, next Saturday.
Fuck. Hopefully I can get some gas money. I'll come drive over to Springfield.
Bro, hey, and I don't know where exactly because I'm like 15 minutes or so south of Springfield, but
Okay.
I'll fuck, bro. I'll help chip in if I have to. You got to come out and watch this one.
All right. I'll
even
definitely start putting plans together. That would be lit.
Yep. And if possible, I'd like to try to get out because I was talking about going into Springfield on Saturday and making an appearance at Dumb Records where because Almost Homeless is doing an all
Oh
ages.
shit, that'd be cool. You can watch UFC and pop out. That'd be cool as fuck.
Yep. I got to figure out a way to work the logistics. I got to figure out what time they go on. But I wanted to, my son's going to be in town too. And that was the main reason I wanted to get over, let my little man see the homies do their thing and support local artists. You know, we got to shout out our boy, Mr. Trash Pandacoot, aka Andre 2024. No. But yeah, no, he's been doing his thing. That's why he hasn't been here. He's been out on the road being almost homeless. Shout out to my boy DZ as well. DZ the paper boy. If you don't know, they got themselves a little band and they doing it right now. I think 2 shows into I think a 5-show mini tour. Next weekend is at Dumb Records and yeah, it's all ages show. I think it's like $5 at the door. So if you ain't doing anything and you in Springfield and you want to check out some good music, hop out to Dumb Records next Saturday and see the homies do their thing. You might even get to see us as well. But yeah, I think that's about all I got for the evening. This is, like I said, this last fight night last night. It was nice to have some fights on, but it was just, it's all filler at this point. These last 3 cards have been filler. Did you see any of the highlights or watch any from the prior week, the Mignon, Fior, and Blanchfield fight?
Not that I can recall. There might be a standout moment that if you say it, I'll remember it. But
Well,
nothing.
it was basically complete domination from Fior. I'll give Mignon a lot of credit though too. I did not realize that girl was that big for 125. Like she made Blanchfield look tiny in that weight class. And my takeaway from their fight anyways is as good as Blanchfield's ground game is, she's gonna have to step up that stand up. She's gonna have to work more on her hands and her striking to be able to set up the takedowns because we found out what happens when you're one dimensional and that one dimension doesn't work. It was a master class by Mignon. She was just too big. I think actually, yeah, Fiora had the only takedown of that fight too. Almost got herself caught in a guillotine, but yeah, had the only takedown and again was complete domination. Also, I guess my final point I'm gonna leave with tonight, anyways. I want everybody who thinks that Chris Curtis won this main event last night. I want you to go back and watch that fight and watch it unobjectively. Because I feel like I don't know why. Like, I really don't know how that many people, like, he got a lot of fans. There's a lot of people like you in the groups I follow that fuck with the action, man. And hey, more power to him. It's not my bag, but take those bias glasses off, and you will see that Allen won this fight. You got to consider that ground game. You got to consider the ground control. You got to consider the submission attempts. You got to look at it as a complete fight, because this isn't boxing. This isn't kickboxing. This is fucking MMA. It's not all gonna be fucking spectacular moments and shit, but it all does add up. And again, I promise you, if you go back and rewatch it, at the least, you should come away taking it that Allen won 3-2. But again, if you want to make the argument with it being close, I'd be okay again with Curtis's ranking going up or down, however you want to talk it. He's at 14 right now. Put this motherfucker at 12 or 11. And then give him some competition when his shit heals, and see if he can keep running with it. But yeah, on that note, I'm gonna call it a night. Get me a little bit of food, get me a little bit of sleep, and get this fucking work week out the way, so we can be here or be watching the fights next Saturday. And then of course we'll be back next week at 8 p.m. bringing you all the coverage, the post fight, letting you know what's coming up, and we're gonna let you know if the parlay hits. But for
It's
now,
gonna hit.
You think it's gonna hit?
Spoiler alert! It's gonna hit.
All right. I like the energy. That means you're crazy though. 14 leg pick isn't gonna hit then though.
I'm in that parlay.
No, okay. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you get to 13 fights and you hit that main event, it gives you.
Oh,
that
I'm
cash
fucking cashing, bro.
He goes, I might not even make it to the co-main.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if we get to the point where I'm getting like $20 off my quarter, we're probably cashing in early.
Oh yeah.
It's like 10 times my return or whatever. I'll take that. The parlay is like plus 25,000 or some shit like that. I think.
Plus 25,000.
No, it's plus 26,334.
Well, no, and that's a crazy thing though. You can end up with a parlay that's fucking plus 10,000 all on underdog picks, just because the chances, even with them knowing the odds like that, the chances of that shit actually happening perfect is pretty out there.
Yeah, I would love to know that the formula that they use to like determine payouts when you parlay up a bunch of shit like that, it has to be some type of mathematical algorithm.
It's got to be. It definitely is. But now, on that note, I hope everybody out there has a good evening, a good week. Don't look directly at the eclipse tomorrow because you might go blind. At least that's what I hear. I don't know. If you want to look at it, fucking be my guest. Just let me know how it goes.
I'll look at it through my phone. I'll point my phone at it and then look at my phone screen.
Yeah, see, now I'm going to just look for a tree and look at the shadows underneath the tree, because you be getting the same eclipse effect going through the tree leaves.
I might get a pair of those sunglasses if I can get them cheap, because I hear if you look at the sun, you can see like a bunch of these like things that you can't normally see.
The solar flares, or the flares coming off.
Yeah.
Or the corona. The corona.
The areola.
I was gonna try to grab me a pair of them today, and I totally forgot. Maybe if I wake up in time, because I work semi late tomorrow. Maybe if I wake up in time, I'll run my ass into town and get me some glasses, because I want to peep it. But thanks again for anybody who tuned in. Just don't forget to like, subscribe. Still in the works. I'm getting a new page up. We'll get them invites sent out. That way you could follow us all there and keep up with what we got going on here. But for now, this is A1, Mr. Resident Hater, Paul. We wish you well, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Peace.
Deuces.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.